Today we're going to be learning how to get a photo that we may have taken of whether it be a student in front of a wall or a soccer player or football player in front of a background. We're basically going to be learning how to cut out the background on Photoshop and then bring it into somewhere like here where it's a photo with the background removed. So the first thing you're going to do, go to Photoshop, find the picture you have. I decided to use one of Selena Gomez, big fan of Wizards of Waverly Place. And there's a few ways that you can approach doing this. So once you're on Photoshop, you can have your image selected. Now there's two types of images you'll really be working with. One where there's a really sharp contrast, which is the best way to do, where there's like obviously a lot of the same color here and it's really like different than the background, or you're going to have a background maybe more of a candid event where the background may be not as manipulated and you're going to have to go line by line. So we're going to learn both ways, just as a quick overview. So if you have a photo like this where there's an easy background, what I do is I use the selection tool, the quick selection tool right here. It's the fourth tool down, and there's a few things up here. Click on the plus one, and then you can use the bracket tools to either make this little brush right here bigger or smaller. What that does is once you go around, hold down, and kind of go part by part, and you see the little dotted line that's coming around her figure is her, it's basically what is being selected. And of course you see up here it selected a little bit more than I wanted, so I would just click on this minus here, get rid of that. And obviously this background may be a little bit harder to work with than anticipated, but obviously you can go into a lot more detail with this, but basically in this method, once you've selected what you want, you're going to go up to select, click on inverse, and you see it selects everything but our original selection. And then you're going to click on delete. And what that does, you basically see you get a background that's white, and you see that she has a little bit rugged edges right here, but obviously it was just a quick approach to it. And then I'm going to show you now the second way to do it, and then we're going to place it into Photoshop. So again, remember in Photoshop, anytime you want to undo something, just click the Control-Alt-Z multiple times to get where you want it to be. And anytime you can make a selection that you don't want, you just click Control-D and it'll get rid of it. Now we're going to take the more detailed approach that many times you'll be using. So this is called the magnetic lasso tool. Basically, it's going to hold on to some like edges of a body. So basically, you might want to zoom in. Control plus is the tool. Click a starting point, and then as you see, you can go around. Okay, and whoops, I made a mistake there, and I don't know how to fix that. Okay, we're gonna start over. You just click delete, and that'll get rid of the different points that you made. So as you see, you just go around the body here, and now I'm gonna move up, delete a few times, and you just go around. And as I move over, again, this thing's going crazy. Oh my god. So yeah, you just delete, because I think I made the mistake of zooming into this. Obviously a lot more detail, but basically the point is to go around, and then you can go here on the bottom. Well, not as good as I anticipated, but you can use the quick selection tool, which is a combination of both. You could fill in this part right here. You could subtract a part right here. And basically you see you get a little bit more of a defined outline here. Obviously it works a little bit better for different images. So now remember, select, inverse, delete, okay, and then you can click Control D. And what you can do is to smoothen things out, you could use the eraser tool and possibly go around the edges here, maybe. But when you're doing an actual like detailed cutout, you just want to make sure it's a lot more precise. But for explanatory purposes, I'm just going to be doing a simple thing. But notice the problem with this, we have a transparent image, right? But we still have this white background, which would pop up if we wanted, like, especially like something behind this. So just click on the background layer, which is white, and click delete. Okay, so here you see transparent background, only the image that we want. You can do file, save as, let's do to our desktop. I usually keep it as a Photoshop so I can go back and edit it. I'm not sure if that's acceptable with your book, but if it's not, you can either go down here, PNG works really well, or JPEG, anything that you can get a transparent background. So I'm going to name this cutout, save it to my desktop. Okay, now you go in Photoshop, you can click Control D, that'll allow you to place something, and you see here we have our cutout file. Click on it, and then you see it pops up, and it pops up right there, okay? And again, you can click Control Shift to manipulate this if you want, and you see you could put it here, place it behind an image if you want to by clicking Control in either left or right bracket. So it's basically a way of getting rid of a background, whether it be a like sports photo or something like that. Basically, Photoshop, you either use the quick selection tool or the magnetic lasso tool, go around, select, inverse, delete the edges, and then you can place it right in Photoshop with Control D. So that's pretty much it. Thank you.